Hello and welcome back. We're going to map 2 for Granny's Knockers versus Bleak. If you were with us for the first map, which I hope you were, the first map was of course in favour of Bleak. They won that 13-6, I believe. The final score 13-5.
Yep,
I think
13-6, I believe.
Yes. So similar to what happened last night, we'd already seen Granny's Knockers versus Bleak last night, and they lost 13-5. So it was to be expected, I think. They tried something on Fracture. They took us to Fracture, tried a little bit different. They showed us flashes. There was a couple of rounds that I felt that they could have won out. The 1v3, of course, from Lewis. And there was a few rounds like that, and unfortunately, they just weren't able to get it across the line in a few of those. And I think maybe that will be to their detriment later on, because teams like Bleak will punish you for that.
Yeah, teams like Bleak looking extremely strong.
Yep.
You know, really good quality players in Bleak. They're going to punish every little mistake that you make.
Yep.
So Granny Knockers really got a bit of uphill battle here.
Yes, they do. They certainly do. But we're going to look at the map views very quickly, just to give you a refresher as to where we are heading. First map, of course, was Fracture. That's done, dusted, in favour of Bleak. Second map, though, that's going to be Peril. And that's, of course, Bleak's pick. So, with the decider being Bind, I am inclined to say that we might not see Bind, I think. I don't think we'll see
so.
it.
I think my prediction will be that we're not going to be visiting Bind today.
Yes.
And probably with Bleak's pick on Pearl, it's going to be rough game.
Yeah, I think it will be rough for Granny Knockers. But, you know, like I mentioned, I am always the optimist. I will always be the optimist. There's no one going to kill my hope. I'm always all about the underdog stories. You know, I'm hoping if they can just shore up a couple of those mistakes, because there was a few rounds that were mistakes. For instance, like the counter not checking the corner and giving away essentially a 3K really. Things like that. Teams we highlighted will punish you if you make those mistakes. If you give those tiny little gaps, they'll find it, they'll prod it, and they will extrapolate any weakness that they spot. So
Yeah,
hopefully
rooting
fix
for
it.
Granny Knockers.
I'm always rooting for them. They always catch me rooting for it. And also they also put Scalp out as well. Well, they put Scalp down in the lower bracket, so I'll give them a respect as well.
Yeah, hopefully Jay can show up with that off on the jet and just cause some absolute damage for Granny's Knockers. And
Still the upper bracket though, this is the thing as well. So you kind of need to take that into in consideration, especially if you're playing against a team that you know are going to be a lot better than the way everyone. It's not like a secret that we know Bleak is going to be the top team versus now. They won all the games yesterday. We know who's on their team, so we know exactly what to expect from them. And in an upper bracket, when you technically have an extra life, is their heart completely full in it from Granny's Knockers, do you think? Are they too bothered, or are they just, they're just vibing with it today? Or do you think they're giving it a try and seeing,
I think they're giving it a good try. They definitely had like a serious composition. Even though the Phoenix, we thought that's an unusual pick.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, it worked.
It
worked.
worked.
Run it back.
They did make good use out of the Phoenix Uto. So it's not like it was they're throwing or anything. They were doing a good job. Yeah, they just need to, I don't know, if they don't think they're going to win this, maybe just take a look back at the strategies that Bleak are using and then apply some new strategies in the lower bracket to then meet Bleak again in the final.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to beat the best to be the best, aren't you?
Exactly.
So someone's going to have to beat Bleak if they want to win it. It's very simple maths. So yeah, using this time to learn their strats and learn and see if they can learn anything. The thing is that Bleak have got a deeper strat book than most. The amount of times that they've changed things around. I mean, yesterday they changed stuff around in every single game. They were throwing so much different stuff. So we are just waiting for our players to get sorted in the lobby just now. We're just having a little bit of a chat while we wait on it. Of course, we want as much airtime as possible. Want to show our, well, at least my shiny face off while we wait, because it's very roasting toasting inside the venue. And I mentioned earlier that we're going back to get Karen as well for the next Epic LAN. Of course, this time we're in Wolverhampton just now, and it's absolutely roasting. I'm come from all the way down from Scotland. And I'm not doing too well with the heat, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's still just as sunny up in Wolverhampton as it is in the rest of the UK right now. It's so hot and warm.
Yeah.
We've got the fan on pointed at us right now. The door's been open half the day.
Yep.
Well,
yeah. But it's
and
been good
toasty.
vibes. It's been good vibes, and it's been enjoyable to kind of go around and see the players all enjoying each other, and of what I'm going to say as well is that Granny Knockers, of all the teams that are competing in Valorant, Granny's Knockers are the loudest by a long shot. They screaming, shouting, and really getting in the faces of the other players, and it's been exciting. It's been a good atmosphere when kind of walking around the venue and kind of seeing what's happening. But yeah, just waiting to get into the game, and we're just going to steal some airtime while we do that. Really, that's essentially it. So we're just going to subject you to our beautiful faces for as long as possible. But look at that, it's been stolen away from us. Producer so rudely cutting us off, and you're not going to get to see Middle's exciting face while we transition into the agent select for Pearl.
Yeah, now we're looking at the agent select, and instantly another Phoenix in the hands of Granny Knockers. But this time, counter.
They like it.
Counter was on the Cypher last time, but now decided to swap it round.
Love it.
Now
Jay was on the Phoenix last time, so a little bit of a change, an idea there.
Jay taking a seat back, playing Cypher.
Just chilling out. Yeah, just changing next round.
Yeah, I think it's kind of expected that we're seeing Astra as the smoker for Pearl. It's the perfect map for Astra. Jet on your boy Lewis, that's also a really expected pick. B site, that massive long sight line. Jet is just perfect with an operator there. But also Raze is fantastic, primarily for A. There's so many little angles you've got to clear on art. Going down A main, the boom bot and the paint shells are perfect for clearing that out. Sky as well, great. And we're actually going to get to see Gecko. I don't know if we've had Gecko in a game yet. I don't think we've had Gecko in a game this tournament. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Lime is going to be our first Gecko of the tournament, and that is going to be exciting to see. Hopefully we're going to get to see some wingman plants.
Yeah, hopefully. It's one of those ones that's very annoying in ranked, but you don't really see it anywhere else.
Yeah, no.
Which comes up all the time. It's so annoying to deal with, but you don't really see it that often, which is kind of bled through into the Epic itself, because this is the first time we've seen it. The first time I've seen it, I don't remember anyone really bringing the Gecko. We have seen the Deadlock once.
Yeah.
I have seen the Deadlock once. I don't know about you.
I haven't yet, no.
It's been pretty standard stuff, so excited to see some different agents coming through.
Yeah, it's exciting to see Gecko, because I think much like Harbour, when they came out, they're not seen as frequently, but then over time, they're utilised a bit more because they've got such special util sets. Like Gecko especially, they may not appear to be super strong, like a viable in the competitive scene, as the other initiators just kind of do Gecko's role maybe a bit better. But that ability to plant the spike remotely and get those remote diffuses, if you're setting up for it and you've got some strats, you could do something really interesting. Yeah,
and I think we'll see that. I'm hoping that we'll see some of that, especially in the hands of Bleak and the hands of Lime as well. We've seen how creative they can be, so I imagine we will see quite a lot of different ways to approach that agent. And getting into Pearl, I'm excited to see something. Hoping that it's a little bit more competitive from Granny's Knockers. Like I mentioned, like I've highlighted, I'm always the one to give people the benefit of the doubt. Always want to instill some hope in people. And we did see some rounds that I thought, what, if they just maybe checked this corner, or if they maybe just kind of played together a little bit and tidied that up, then they could have been in a better situation for the round count.
Yeah.
And to Bleak's credit, they find those weaknesses and they punish you for it, and that's that's the worry that they can do that at any time.
Yeah, I think that Granny Knockers actually picking Phoenix. I think Pearl is probably one of the best maps to do that on.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the way the map's designed, especially if you look at B connector. Yeah. It's just perfect places for those curveballs to be used. And, his hot hands as well, being able to clear out all those little pockets that are on Pearl around the map, scattered through every little entranceway. Loads of pockets and cubbies. Just asking to be mollied.
Yeah, it certainly is. Everyone hopping on the Ghost, no one really adding any spice into it. It's pretty standard stuff for the pistol round to start things off, and it looks as though it's going to get a quick start. Flashes go out, and everybody's just going to start to get this action up and running. No one has been killed off as of yet, but Stike opens up this score. It's Lewis that's killed off first. And then slowly does it. Change of pace here from Bleak, as they have been somewhat humbled with the first kill that came through from Granny's Knockers. But slowly does it. Eventually they do approach a site, and they will be met by Crab, who's just chilling out behind. He's waiting for an opportunity to get himself into an engagement. Lime will find one back, and it's two quick punches that will get them into a situation where they are favoured, but it boils down to a 2 versus 2 situation. Crab though, he's going to find one, looking to try and find the second, and does that and finishes it off. Granny's Knockers, they're going to find the first round on Pearl.
Really well played from Crab there, just utilising that back site. Hiding behind the middle terrain on the A site. Just really making use of it, just jiggling to the right, jiggling to the left. Holding their crosshair placement nice and still, just letting the kills come to them really.
Yes, they were letting it come to them. Well, it was a good start from Granny's Knockers. This pistol round can't take too much from it, but it's a positive start. So.
Yeah, it was interesting to see the way the Bleak were approaching that A site. They used Dizzy to just throw it over the wall. Did actually land the blind on Stike, but Stike did come out of it alive. Managed to find the first kill off that, even though he was blind. Managed to retreat back to the site, and I think that was what really paid off well for them, finding that first pick and managing to just retreat without a lot of damage.
Yes. And just a very brief moment, we're going to have a tech pause for just a second. So some internet issues as we resolve that. Gives us a little bit of time to just watch some beautiful observing as we go around Pearl, which is one of the prettier maps, I think.
Yeah, it's got beautiful aesthetic, underwater, in the dome.
Yeah, I
and
love it.
What seems like a ancient city almost.
Yeah. Very nice. I always like highlighting the pretty maps. That's what I like about Valorant. It's got nice looking maps. It's very aesthetic. Yeah. And yeah, the only reason that we're talking about the aesthetic of the map is because we've only played one round, and there's not much to talk about for the pistol rounds because it doesn't really tell too much.
Yeah.
What we can tell though is, I mean, the setup going into round number 2, of course, is in favour of Granny's Knockers compared to what was the Rhino inside. And just as, of course, I was mentioning that, we get things started, I believe.
Bleak aren't really looking to fully eco this round. They've all bought a Sheriff, which means if they lose this, they're going to have to go into the next round of eco.
Yes, they certainly are. Counter those going to open things up onto Lime, over towards the A side, and pulls all the way back. Doesn't want to get too aggressive. They're just going to chill out for a second. Only one member left round there from Bleak as the jet goes right through the middle, and Gogs he's going to slow walk round towards that side too. Jam finds them and shuts it down. Doesn't matter if you're going to move slowly. Killjoy comes up on top anyway. Lewis knew exactly where Jay was and sends him to the grave. 3 versus 4 scenario in favour of Bleak now. Doesn't matter if they just have sheriffs. Risk has been taken and they seem to be paying off. Check the corner though. Jam can get himself a freebie and does that. Counter again. Seems to not like checking corners. It's the second time in a row it's happened. There's Crab though with an immediate refrag onto Jam. Waddle gets the spike down. And in favour, man advantage for Bleak. The spike is down. We're in a post-plant scenario as well, right in the middle of the site, so it's very visible. As Crab now attempts to go for the retake. Now, try to play together, try to double up and see if they can isolate these 1v1 to win this one out. We've spotted one player. Waddle will be taken off, and a double from Stike. The quick flick to take Lewis and Waddle right out of this round, and leaves Jamie to try and stop them from clutching this one up. The distance shot with the Sheriff, the long angle being held though, but the diffuser is right in the middle. Spike is there, so difficult to get, and threads the needle into the skull of Stike in a second. The clutch for Jamie finishes it off, stops it from happening, and then that will be a beautiful round coming out there for Bleak.
That really paid off. Them buying those Sheriffs was the absolute winner of that round. Just being able to land those headshots, especially really paying off for Jamie. Planting that spike in the perfect position, just giving him a little sliver to work with. So the enemies couldn't see them as they were able to kill the diffuser.
That's I mean, I'm glad I spotted it at the start because it's planted right in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, I wonder why they're going to be doing this. It's because they've all got sheriffs and they're going to be standing all the way along that long angle.
All the way back, just lining up those headshots.
Yep, beautifully done. We love to see it. They're one apiece after 2 rounds. Now it looks as though the push will be up that main alongside the Stike though. Pops out to try and find one, but the pressure is mounting from either side and can't escape the clutches of the side of Bleak. Slowing things down again. They're going to try and stop this as Waddle though just continues. They're going to keep going through. Bleak just steamrolling through. Crab at least finds one back as a 2 versus 4. As Jam gets the plant down, can't land anything at all. Crab and leaving one member left alive as Jay to try and clutch this up. Can't find anything at all. Bleak, they take a really quick round on Peril.
Very interesting use of the Gecko util to enter the B site there. They're using the Dizzy to just blind them, just to, stagger the defenders a little bit. But then the Wingman just comes running in straight past the defenders, taking the attention away. So Wingman's getting lit up, allowing the rest of the players, your boy Lewis just swings through with the jet, allowing him to get an easy kill while the enemies are distracted by that cute little Wingman carrying that spike. Yeah,
we were hoping that we'd see some Gecko play. We were hoping that it would pay off, and at least we've got one round of it. So can you say that Gecko's a success? We'll maybe see more of them throughout. Certainly hope so. Slow push this time though. Change of pace from Bleak, not opting to go for anything as quick as what we've seen in that previous round. Your boy Lewis slowly does it through the middle of the map. As Stike and Coach hold it on towards E. Peppering out a couple of shots, doesn't land anything. The pressure there, the Gecko Flash will blind them out just for now. As Counter finds Lewis on the other side, Line with one to Crab and Counter onto Jam. Line kill as well on counter, and that means that after all that aggression, we have 3 members left alive for Bleak and 2 for Granny's knockers. Try and recover this, but it's not going to happen as of yet, as Gogs is dealt with. Lime with that kill, and leaves Jay with clutch in their hands. Plant going down, Lime getting on that wingman plant as well, which you wanted to see. You wanted to see it happen. It does happen. Waddle on the covering angle here, popping out there. Jay's going to find 1, 2, very quick punch. Can he clutch this up? No! Put into the dark, courtesy of Lime. Finished off. Bleak, they won that one out.
Lime finding the 4K with that final kill onto Jay there. Nothing Jay can do in that situation, but they gave it their best.
Yeah. Give it a try.
I say nothing they can do. They really almost had that. If they just got the shot onto Lime,
yeah,
it was theirs. I mean, that's the beauty of having wingman. They were able to just, all 3 of them, sit back in main, not have to worry or stress about having to position anywhere else. They can play safe in main, just peek off each other as soon as that defuse comes in.
Yeah. Very good round from Bleak there, but with an attempt, the clutch didn't go quite as what they wanted to go for, but very aggressive there. Again, change pace. They like to change this up, go for a different push every single time there. Gets aggressive jam from counter, and Crab there punishes Lewis for that aggression as they go through the smoke line and killed off. And still holding on to this angle here, Jam finds Crab. And Stike with the Sheriff in hand, waiting for someone to peek around that corner, holds a little bit of a pixel, just patiently waiting for them to show that shoulder blade, ready for it. Well, can't react in time though, unfortunately for them, and receives a little bit of damage in return. Not too much that they have to worry about it. Gogs just came around to try and shore up the site a little bit and hold the cross angle, but Waddle knew exactly where to pre-fire and exactly where to aim. Kills off Stike and Gogs and claims the site for himself. They can get the plant down now, and it's just a 1 versus 3. Jay has to try and clutch this one up. Pistol in hand, not the greatest situation to find yourself in, and I think this may be a evacuate the dance floor and just chill out and see if we can maybe get some exit frags. I don't think I'm too bothered about it though. They will find Waddle at least, but there's still 3 members left alive. Send out the cage just to waste a little bit of time for the attackers here. Jam from behind with the flank, kills off Jay. Bleak, they take another round on peril here.
Jay tried their absolute best there just to make something happen at the end, just in an unwinnable 1v4. Managing to retreat back through Art then and then finding a kill onto Waddle. Doing a little bit of damage, but it's not really going to do enough as Bleak's eco is pretty stacked right now. For them all sitting with comfortably enough money to rebuy themselves, even if they take a dip here.
Yeah.
Jay has the operator in hand though, positioning themselves on B.
I absolutely love that. Like, it doesn't matter that they have it. Bleak have so much money that, you know what, guys, knockers, I don't care. You know what, we'll just fully dedicate. We've got nothing to lose here. Let's go for it. Get the operator in hand and see what's happening here on the side for Jay. Just waiting for the pressure. It's going to come down that long side, holding on as all the members of Bleak are on that side. So they're going to have to wait with open arms here, Jay. They'll be happy to receive the pressure and happy to see if they can shut it down, as Jam is the most aggressive for Bleak just now. Plenty covering angles here. This counter has also made the rotate round. They know that push is focused on towards B. As Jay still with the operator in hand, shutting down some of that Gecko utility, make sure they don't put too much pressure, although counter finds the first kill of this round, and it's Lewis to fall first. There's Lime though from behind the Gogs. Waddle pushing up is slowed down before they can get around that corner. Lime knew exactly where to look though. Counter shut down, it's a 3 versus 4. From above, Crab tries to find something, but doesn't know where to look. Caught in no man's land as Lime claims the life of Crab and leaves 2 members left alive for Granny's knocker to try and do something, make something work, but Bleak just look comfortable here. They have the position. Doesn't matter that you have the high ground. Jam is just better. And kills off Stike, leaving Jay with a clutch again. This time they'll find 1. Knew where to aim for the second, but can't quite connect anything. The spike is down, and the flank is coming around from behind, but checks it just before it happens, and Jam's going to get a freebie onto Jay and finish it off. 5-1 now on the score.
Yeah, brilliant approach from Bleak there. Even though Jay was holding that down with the operator, it didn't phase them. They weren't aware they had it, but I think they found out pretty quickly. Using that Gecko utility so well. Entering with the Thrash, forcing off that operator, and then re-picking up the Thrash, using it again, forcing that operator once more. Forcing the raise out of heaven with the mosh pit.
Yeah.
Oh, Dizzy getting the blinds, it was great. This is what Gecko is useful for. Exactly that kind of situation.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it was the only thing we really touched on it. We were surprised at the start, maybe the Phoenix as well, but it's nice to see it actually coming through and making a big difference for Bleak. They're playing off of it, and it just shows what the great teams can do with these kind of newer agents and stuff and see what kind of creativity they can apply to it. This round here though, a little bit quieter from Bleak as they head for a full mid push just now, just waiting for the opportunity to pounce. They haven't quite decided what they want to do yet, but I imagine that they're just showing face and then rotating out, which it looks as though they are doing just that, as they've spread Granny's knockers thin a little bit here. They've got one member pretty much in every single extremity for now, as they can't quite figure out where the push is going to be coming from. It will come down that east side, as they just lie in wait. They have one member, Phoenix of Counter, behind the crate, just waiting on A main, waiting for it, but I think the position will be revealed. It's not though, he's around the corner, still chilling. This is a big opportunity. He's let one go past. The trigger discipline, we've seen it in the last map from Bleak. It's Lewis that's went past, but they've changed the push anyway. It doesn't matter. They've went all the way around and Lewis knew where Crab was and finishes that one off. So, slipping through the net, it seems Lewis has managed to make a massive play around that side. The Jam finds Stike and Waddle with one of the Gogs, and unfortunately for the Phoenix, it's a little bit of a late rotate round. The Sheriff there misses the shots. Jam, he comes out on top towards Jay, and that leaves Counter, who look to be in a really good position on that side, just waited a little bit too long to make their move, and now they've been left in a clutch situation yet again. Can't land anything, lands one shot at least, gets one kill, one exit frag before being shut down courtesy of Jamie, and Bleak, they take another round. That's 6-1 now in the score on Peril.
I think Counter just got a bit scared there,
yeah.
Just not hiding, but more so just positioning himself behind that box on A short. Because they knew that wingman had come through, they assumed the Gecko might be pushing up. Completely unaware that your boy Lewis just pushed through entirely through the A side and back round into Art, looping back round. But the entire time that was happening, the rest of the team was being picked off one by one in each location of the map. Killing Art, killing B. Yeah, it was just a bit of a mess for Granny's Knockers there.
Unfortunately. But this time though, we're going to see a quick push then. They just want to get right into the face. They know that Bleak are going to come down that long side just for now. They're not really going to rest on their laurels. Lewis though from behind box find one. Jam's going to find another. That's on his Stike and a back and forward. Jamie with one lime onto Counter. 2 versus 4 situation in favour of Bleak now. Even the 2 members for Granny's Knocker miles away from the site. They have to try and get back and hurry back before the plant goes down, but they won't stop it. Is that another game blocking here?
Yeah, that's Wingman planting the spike. And now he's pushing him to Dizzy.
Yep, getting in the face. Lime again coming out on top versus Gogs. And it leaves Jay in an oh-so familiar situation in a 1 versus 4.
And what can Jay do here? Push up, maybe pick up that stinger, give it a little go. Is Lime going to go back for his Dizzy? I don't think so. I think Dizzy's going to be left to die. And Lime finds the kill on Jay to end the round with another Bleak victory, ending in 7-1.
Yes, they seem to be running away with this. The Gecko has really paid dividends. It's been a really, really good half so far from Bleak. It's been exciting to see what they've kind of brought up. But Granny's Knockers, they're just slipping up here, unfortunately. They're not really finding any groove at all. Fracture, they showed a little bit of something, but for now, they've just not showed up at all in Peril.
I think if any time would be a time for a timeout, it would be now, as Granny's Knockers really need to just come up with some strategy. Sadly, Gogs hasn't even been able to find a kill yet. Purely just probably focusing on using their util and, you know, letting the team know what they're doing, but yeah, they don't find anything.
Certainly, it looks as though A is the take this side. 4 members dedicated there for Bleak. You see the one rotating round from Waddle. I'm sure he went out there, but didn't find anyone on that side. As the attacker Killjoy will go down, lockdown coming through, slows things down, and that means that they'll have A for free for now. And we're just gonna have to wait it out here, Granny's Knockers. And just hope that they can get back into our site before it starts to fall apart for them. There's nothing really happened on the kill feed as of yet. We approach that final minute. Lewis is waiting for the players to come around that corner. Waddle never finds Jay with Jam killing off that run it back. As well, Stike onto Lewis. Waddle. He's going to find Stike as well. Well, back and forward here. Slowly does it. Not really too much action as of yet. Counter losing find Jam, and it's going to explode in a plethora of gunfights as Counter finds himself a triple kill inside of that last 20 seconds. And that leaves Bleak in a situation that they haven't been in really on Peril yet. A clutch scenario, 1 versus 2, and Waddle's finished off courtesy of Gogs, and that means that Granny's Knocker, they recover a little bit. They get a round back.
Yeah, brilliant use. Counter making the most out of Jamie's cosmic divide there. Just using that curveball to flash right through, take out both enemies on the other side. It's always a bit of a worry. Popping down that cosmic divide on the site, not really knowing who's there or who could come through that wall at any time. And Granny's Knockers took advantage of that to win the round.
Much better for them, much better. It's not like, I mean, before going in the round of the highlight, we haven't seen too much of them on Peril, but now it seems as though we've seen a little bit. They've been activated a teeny tiny bit. Is it enough to maybe get something going, get a little bit of action? We did have a little bit of a late recovery on Fracture. Let's hope that they can have a little bit of a better recovery here on Peril, because right now it's looking pretty bleak. You can put that in your, write that one down, take that home. Cyclo, he's going to find Lime and aggress down towards that long side towards B. Lime onto counter as well though. Look at that, the showstopper comes through, and we'll find the life of Lewis Goggs at the same time onto Jam. And that's 2 members now left alive for Bleak. Waddle with a long angle, waiting for someone to come deep and show their face, but no one's going to do that. Crab sending out a letter. If that Sky Utility sends the dog to go on the hunt to find someone. Waddle dodges past it though, and he's managed to sneak his way up. They need to be careful here, Granny's Knockers. I don't think they'll be aware how far Waddle actually has moved up. They don't want to really move. They're just going to sit and hold their positions. Don't want to overpeak, don't want to give it away. They've done this before, they've been in this position, and there will be a shoulder spotted there. Luckily for Waddle, he's going to react quicker as well. Stike dealt with though, but can't find the second one. Waddle put into the dark. Goggs comes out on top, and Crab doesn't, or Jamie doesn't know where to look as Crab claims that final kill. Another round on the board for Granny's Knockers.
Yeah, utilising that new boost at the back of Pearl now, just so you can hop up on top of that screen. Yeah, unfortunate position at the end of that round there. 4. Goggs just couldn't find anything. Yeah, just it was really good to dodge out of the way of the Trailblazer there. But yeah, just not finding it. Not finding it.
This might be much better from Granny's Knockers. It's a couple of rounds though they've got together, so they can maybe build off of that, get a little bit of momentum going, see if they can get something kind of cooking on Peril, and see if they can maybe get a comeback mounted, because they certainly need it. They need something to show up here for this one. Though Lewis is going to get aggressive through mid there and finds Goggs straight through B-Link and gets himself on top. Now Stike just round the corner, looking, waiting for an opportunity to get one back, as Waddle will does see a flash of shoulder from Stike, and Stike will be removed from the round. Not the greatest scenario to find yourself in. As Jay's just sitting there, just waiting for an opportunity to get himself into a gunfight next to B Hall. The plant going down, the coverage is there, doesn't realise how close they are to them. Doesn't realise that Jamie's right on the other side of that cage there, just slowing them down a little bit. Counter's going to find Lime and Jay with one, and it looks as though the retake could be on here for Counter, who just comes out on top versus Lewis. A 2 versus 2 situation, goes for the defuse, baits it off a little bit. Waddle though on the covering angle, knows where to look, knows exactly what they want to be up to. Takes the life of Counter, shuts it down. Jay though, it's a 1 versus 1 scenario, and who's going to come out on top here is the attacking side of Bleak. Jam shuts it down, and Bleak, they take it 8-3 so far in this half.
Yeah, we had an interesting spread across the map there. Bleak actually managed to find a couple picks in Connector. Once they've been pushing through those B doors, heading down Link to B, it was a bit of a split push.
Yeah.
And they really took advantage of that, just isolating enemies and just taking those trades so well. Yeah, just fantastic work from Bleak once more. Granny Knockers potentially heading into a 9-3 curse situation, or bringing it back to 8-4 just like the last round.
Yeah, just like the last map, yeah. Much a mirror image of the way it worked out there though. Very quick aggression though from Bleak as they head down towards E side though. Hunter Fury coming through and sending it through the wall just to try and find anything, but it won't find anyone as of yet. They are peppering the shots towards the smokes there though. The Blade Storm though, shut them before it can even make an impact. Lewis is dealt with. Jay comes out on top, and that means that they have the advantage just now. Granny's Knockers, they slow down that aggressive push, and Bleak think, you know what, I'm not even going to keep going. We're just going to full rotate. Everybody, beam it, let's go right round to B. We're not interested in pushing in towards that side, as they now just make their way around at some haste. And I think the Granny's Knockers will be aware of this. They're spread out enough to at least gather that information. The Cosmic Divide up as well. For now, Goggs on that high ground, waiting for it. The Recon Bolt will go through, and Lime now, and then some of the utility to find out who is lurking inside of B Hall. It is, of course, the Phoenix, and tries to put the pressure down. Now Counter though is going to find one. Doesn't matter if they have the information though. He finds one, can't find the second. Jay finds out Lime though. He's going to find himself a double kill and a triple for Jay. 8-4 on the score count now.
Really well played for Jay there at the end, finding that 40s to end the round. Just, I don't know what happened. I think Lime thought that maybe they caught Counter with that detain, because when they pushed the site, they just completely ignored counter. Imagine like think, oh, he's probably detained back there, but no, he wasn't, and he was able to swing out and find Jamie.
Would it be bold to say that countered him? That'd be
It would be. It would be a very fair statement to say.
We're trying to slip in as many dad jokes as we possibly can into the broadcast this weekend, as many as possible. But pistol round, I love a pistol round. I love a ghost. Are you a ghost or are you a sheriff? Or are you a classic?
Depends on what agent I'm playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mainly just like a ghost and a bit of util, but if I'm feeling spicy, pick a sheriff.
I'm all about that sheriff life because I am absolutely honking mechanically. Not gonna lie, atrocious. And at least for the sheriff, if I land first shot, then it's good. But I can't land anything if I. Body shot's not ideal. Anyway, slowly does it as we start things off on this second half. It looks as though Granny's Knockers are going to take their time and they're going to be rewarded for it as Jam is felled towards the B side, and that means that we'll see a little bit of a rotate from Bleak because they think that that's where the push is coming round from. But no, Granny's Knockers, they've done the bait and switch. It's through middle, and it looks as though they could catch Bleak out here because there's only one member on that side, but slowly does it as they move through the middle here. No one really wanting to make that pounce as of yet, and I think now though Bleak are wise to it. They're going to move around and they're going to try and stop this before it happens, but they're not going to get there in time as some utility goes through from Crab. Find this one at Waddle's deep though, needs coming over the top there to slow them down. And Recompose as well, just try and gather as much information as possible. Gogs is attempting to get the plant down. They know how, they will have all this information though. Waddle knows exactly what's happening. The rest of Bleak have arrived on side and they're going to start to try and clean up here. Lime slowed down though. Counter with a triple kill inside the site. The Sheriff can't do anything though. And Granny's Knockers, they're going to take the first round on that defense.
Fantastic work from Granny's Knockers. This Crab perfectly selling that fake on B long, finding that first pick onto Jam, but the rest of the team just really pushing through the middle of the map that was just opened up by that pick from Crab, allowing them to just sneak through art straight onto the site. Waddle being the only one left to defend by himself, naded out by the paint shells. And then when the rest of the team come to approach, Gravity well followed by Hot Hands made short work of them.
Yeah, it wasn't a fun situation. At least the Bleak were going to come in with a vengeance into that site, but there was just so much utility to slow them down. But this time, again, slowly does it. Looks as though Granny's Knockers are not really wanting to change up the pace and too much. They want to just feel these rounds out on this attacker side and see if they can extrapolate a weakness and spot somewhere where they can poke and prod their way through this defense. And for now, they're not moving around, but there's a deep flank here from Jamie. They need to be very careful here, though. Counter knew exactly what was up, though, and just pops out. Deals with that before it can materialise into anything to worry about, and then we'll just take up a corner because this is what they did quite well on Fracture. There was the double rotate round, and you can see it coming around the side of your screen if you're paying attention to it. Gecko is coming around while that B side is now being claimed from Granny's Knockers. They've left one member out to watch for that flank and make sure, but the action will start to occur towards B side. Counter finds Lewis, and then now the Gecko, of course, is now going to have to move through mid and be quicker and join their teammates towards B before it is dropped out. Gogs with the kill of Jam, and we're in a 2 versus 5 scenarios, looking much better here from Granny's Knockers. Lime and Waddle have doubled up together, and they're going to try and recover this round and see if they can get the clutch done. Spike planted, and now we approach the post-plant scenario. Though Lime Waddle not in a rush to get back. They are just going to slowly make their way towards the site, see if there's anyone going to overpeak from Granny's Knockers. But it looks as though they've learned their lessons throughout this best of 3. They're not going to overpeak anything as of yet. Waddle now makes their way up towards Deep Hall. Crab shuts down Lime, though. One frag at least, not a second though, as Crab will finish off that round. And Granny's Knockers, they've made a recovery. It's 6-8 now on the scoreline so far.
Very well played from Granny's Knockers, with Counter having a Vandal in his hands on that second round. Having his teammate buy that and just, having the armor and the Vandal second round gives you such an advantage. You're really making the most out of that damage.
Yeah.
As the enemies are obviously just going to have to be playing a bit more passively, knowing that you've got that long-range rifle in hand. Yeah,
it was really well done, and that's actually a round that is, if Granny's Knockers were to win this, actually one of the rounds I would want to come back to in the break, because the things he did right were the things that I had not complained around, but had said that they need to kind of fix.
Yeah.
And they seem to have done well with that. But anyway, into this round, there's Lime feels a little bit of pressure coming through. They're on it back coming through from Counter, and they will just get straight in with the aggression to try and find any space and make anything they can towards the east side. They're going to get all the way through for free. There's no one there. Almost a wasted ultimate there because no one was in the area to receive it. This Counter now has to check it now with their real self. As A is now completely crowded with Bleak, they've made the rotate around, they know where the push is coming from. And Lime there almost snatches a kill onto Counter, who just escaped their clutches ever so slightly, flashed around the corner there, and an immediate swing round behind it, but there's no one there to receive the shots. It's Lewis and Core just thinking about going round from the back there, but there is an Astra lurking at the top waiting for that flank shoot to happen here, and it's almost like 4D chess here. We can counter your flank with this flank, and Stike will be punished, or Jamie should go be punishing his say courtesy of Stike, and Lewis though will immediately get that refrag there, although it looks as though Bleak though made a very quick work of the middle of this round and found himself a double kill, and leaving 2 members and leaving Granny's Knockers a little bit short on man count. The Spike is down in an awkward pit situation as well, so they can't recover it here. Waddle will swing across onto Gogs, who just couldn't quite react to the information that was presented in front of him. Finds 1 and finds 2. Can they get the clutch up there? Pistol in hand. No, they'll be put into the dirt. Line finishes it off. 9-6 now, still in favour of Bleak.
How many times do we have to see Jay in a clutch situation today?
He'll get one of them. He'll get one of them eventually.
Yeah, one of them, and it's going to be really hype when it does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's a momentum shift.
I think Granny Knockers, even though they did lose that round, I think, yeah, improvements from the last game. Yeah. They've really, I think it might just be the Pearl, is that they are approaching it. They know how to divide the map up better.
Yes.
Like they are splitting up Bleak a bit better. They're securing the map. They're taking control of areas basically, and it's
it's looking much better from them. Bleak here getting aggressive up towards that A side as well. Jay's the only one out there to entertain it. Only one member as well towards B on that long side, and it looks as though that is where the push will be dedicated towards, as everyone sends it down there. Conga line in towards B. In Hall there is Jam lurking, waiting for it. Just chilling out. He's going to wait for this opportunity, and this could be to their detriment because they've not been found out. They don't have that information, and they're going to react off of that. And it looks as though everyone rotated back round as Waddle finds himself a double kill from nowhere. A Blade Storm in hand as well from Lewis, and it looks as though this could be dead and buried here for the round for Granny's Knockers. They had a push set up there, but it's not going to be enough. Blade Storm does finish it. Lewis with the final shot, and that's 10-6 there. Very humbling 2 rounds in a row there, wasn't it? Granny's Knockers, they got in a bit there, but Bleak have said, you know what, we're going to shut the door a little bit more here.
Yeah, and we have to remember this is Bleak's map
pick
on Pearl, so they do have the strategy locked down, and yeah, using that Blade Storm to aggressively push, get the final kill on Crab there. He's just hiding behind the pillar, just trying to maybe see if he can find 1 or 2 picks before he gets taken out. But yeah, no, heading now into the next round, Granny's Knockers are really going to have to think of something special. I'm so surprised, Chan, we haven't seen a timeout yet.
I'm really surprised as well. But the thing is as well is I think they maybe just want to feel this out. I think they maybe feel like they've already kind of lost this one. That's maybe the reason they haven't. And they're just figuring out the strats. Maybe want to come back better and stronger at another time, though. We started off this round really strong, though. 2 very quick kills, counter one on Waddle, and the flash is coming through. Lewis dodges away from it though, and can avoid that for now, and we'll pick off counter and swing around the corner. Gogs puts Lime into the dirt, courtesy of a Sheriff bolt to the head. And we're on a 2 versus 3. Bleak still dwindling on the numbers, so still in favour of Granny's Knockers. They both just want to try and force them down to this long side as well at the other side. It's Jay onto Lewis with the Sheriff. Now Jamie in a 1 versus 3. We talked about Jay being in quite a lot of clutch potentials. Now it's Jamie's time.
Yeah, exactly. Jamie is now approaching the site in a 1v3 situation. Granny's Knockers do have the Cosmic Divide in their favour. Probably not going to pop it unless it really comes down to the wire. 2 players positioned in main. Astra, Gogs just sat on the site, holding it close. Jamie's going to have to clear that corner, and if they do, Stike is going to get the trade.
I imagine so. Slowly does it though, and just waiting for someone to overpeak, waiting for someone to show something, but no one's going to do that. They're just going to play the patience game there, and Stike finished it off anyway. Thrifty round. 10-7 now on the score.
Brilliant thrifty round from Granny's Knockers. That's again, we've seen that last game in Fractured, they've got a thrifty. And again, yesterday, Granny's Knockers got a couple of thrifty rounds as well, a couple of amazing thrifty rounds. They are doing excellent work with their ecos. Yeah. And they really need to just keep capitalizing on those full buys. Doing what they were a few rounds back.
Yeah. Operator this time on the hand of Lewis, so concern of course to be had for Bleak, who are still in the lead for now, but you know, Granny's Knockers are biting at their heels for now. They've certainly showed us a little bit more than what they did on Fracture. It's looked a little bit better. Of course, Lewis is going to be perched up on the jet towards the long side. Are we surprised? I don't think we are. And slowly does it here though for Granny's Knocker. Edge towards B side. Jamie though opens up the first kill. Jay this time, and the operator will shout its name out from behind that cover and find its first kill. Counter onto Lewis, immediately deals with that, so shuts down the operator at least. And Gog's now with the plant. Lime waiting for the push to come through there. Position is given away there. Counter just gets aggressive, but Jamie's there on the double up as well. And he will be cut down from behind. Counter came on top. 3 versus 3. Granny's Knocker's looking in a decent position here, as Crab knows that that corner will be peaked at some point. Of course, the spike is down, so a decent position. The Crab has to be careful because there's a couple of players around that as well. As we now start to feel the pressure from B Hall, and the recovery seems to be in play for Bleak. They seem to have managed to claim the site back. They really pushed them back. Hunter's Fury through the wall, perfectly timed, and they're going to reclaim that site. And Bleak, they take us on to 11-7.
Bleak really forcing their wins here. Using as many ultimates that are needed to take a round. Using that Hunter's Fury at the end and Gecko's Thrash just to really ensure their victory here. Just edging ever so closer to that 2-0 defeat against Granny's Knockers in our upper bracket stage. So even if Granny Knockers do lose here, they're going into the lower bracket. They're not completely out.
Yeah, not completely out, so they've got an extra life. So it's not, you know, all doom and gloom. And for me, to see the way that they've grown, even just over this fixture on its own, it's a lot bit to build on, I think, going into the rest of the bracket for later on. I think it's really shown us that they can adapt to some things. Maybe they don't win this out, but when they eventually get, maybe if they get to the point where they get their third rematch, maybe they'll have something in the tank. Not much happening though early on in this round.
Interesting thing to note is that Jay on the Cypher has got an operator down on B.
Yeah.
Pushing B with an operator on attack. That is very ballsy.
Yeah, very bold. Jamie though opens up this round with a kill on his stake there, and Counter has to try and dodge away before they're killed off, but can't do anything to escape the clutches of Jamie, as the Lewis with the operator on the other side will finish off one as well. Now, Granny's Knockers are up against it. 2 members left alive. The Cypher with the operator in hand. Gogs finds one, that's Jamie Feld. And the second one, potentially, but no. Jam comes out on top. And the operator in hand here, swinging around the corner, can't quite land the shot there. The recon bolt comes out, and that will give away their position. And they're not even going to wait, they're just going to go right round the corner. The no scope there from Jay finds a kill at the Jam, but Waddle, there's just too many people there for Jay to deal with. Almost a clutch he's left there, but he tried it. He got something.
He tried.
A clip at least?
Yeah. Back to the Vandals with you, Jay. Sadly, no operator this round.
Tried something, didn't quite work out, but yeah, Granny's Knockers, unfortunately, a couple of rounds there that they showed us a decent amount, and it seems as though Bleak have just came back on top now. They set themselves on the series point with the potential to get themselves into the upper bracket final.
Yeah, it's very difficult for Granny Knockers to push that operator away out of your boy Lewis's hands, who's just doing really good work with it.
Certainly is. Now though, very quick push here from Granny's Knockers, so they're not going to rest out there, but another one, that's 2 in 1 map. We're going to get a hip fire from Lewis, this time on his stake. Jam with one onto counter, and Granny's Knockers, they're dwindling on the numbers already inside 30 seconds. Lime, he's going to be pushing through that smoke, doesn't care, short in hand. Crab felled, Jam as well finds Jay, and now clutch situation for Gogs to keep them alive in this, but look, they're all just going to pile around the corner and finish it off. It's Bleak to take them out, Bleak to take the series, and they finish it off 2-0 versus Granny's Knockers.
What an end there. Complete shutdown with that no scope onto the raised showstopper blasting onto the site. Oh, what a devastating end for that race.
Very much if you can do it, I can do it moment from him there, yeah. Loved it. Great one. At least it was entertaining, at least it was a bit closer than what we were kinda expecting. And Granny's Knockers, they're edging closer, they're climbing up the pegs. So I like that kinda maybe that 4 kind of rounds that they had to kind of showed us a little bit of counter strat, and it started to slip away, and you know Bleak just had the legs at the end of the day really to shut it down. So down to the lower bracket they go. Not out yet. Bleak, they're going to head on to the upper bracket final, continue storming through this. I know it does look comfortable for them, but I want to see a rematch from them. I think that Granny's Knockers, I think on the 3rd time of asking, might eventually do it.
It's very possible. It's very possible that they could come back and meet them in the final.
Yeah, they could do. I'm hoping they don't, because I'm a Scalp fan, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
You're looking for that Scalp Bleak.
Yeah, I'm putting in. I'm speaking it into existence. Of course, there's got to be someone here, you know, representing the Scottish for it. So I'm hoping that they can do it. But you know, it's what it is. I'm happy. I'm just happy to get some exciting Valorant. I'm happy that we're getting a full day. Of course, very packed schedule for today. We're on very late. We've got quite a lot of games. We've got, of course, got the grand final tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we're on till I believe 1 a.m. finish tonight, roughly, because it's best of threes
wow.
all day, best of threes all day. So lots of games, and but I mean, is there anything you want to add before we kind of go for a little bit of a break?
No, not really. No, I think we've said all we need to say.
I think so, yeah. Well, what we'll do is we'll have a quick break. We'll go and chill it for a little bit. It won't be me back for it, but I think you may be back for the next game. I think maybe, potentially. We've got a few other people coming on anyway. But thank you very much for joining in for this game. We'll see you shortly, and we'll get back with the next game, which will be the upper bracket final, I believe is the next one. So see you later. Bye-bye. Ta-ta.
Bye.